love BioShock just as much as the next guy, but I'm not going to go ahead and splice together footage that was already done.
And here's the thing: what upsets me, it's like they obviously in this trailer they built a Big Daddy, and to me, if you wanted to showcase what you could do, if you've spent the time and money to shoot that opening beach scene that they have, and then have the Big Daddy footage, like. Really, really film a Big Daddy scene if that's what you're gonna do. Like, put that much effort into that. Like, present that, because that's what's gonna sell. BioShock could just be set in the 50s, and you can just fake look like there's water in front of your window all day long on some soundstage.
Yeah, I mean, you literally could just get like a double-plated glass and put water in between it, and just like it'll look exactly like you're underwater. Like that's how Guillermo del Toro did it in Hellboy.
Yeah, and it's just like. That's just the weirdest thing to me. It's like, why would you build this thing and then you knowing or not knowing that you can really, really exploit that to show your skill and talent, but then just fall on the backs of I'm just gonna use this guy's shot because I don't have enough money for sparks.
Well, and it's all like, let's save judgment for later on those shots, but it's just all like that Day After Tomorrow shot just kind of came out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just there, and it was just all like, well, you guys used Fox, you guys used Lightstorm, like, this is technically on IMDb now, it's going to get a lot of craze. There's like a half-assed article on IGN, no offense IGN, but it was like 2 paragraphs long in the clip, YouTube page. I'm sure you probably know the guy.
Yeah.
But like, anyways, I mean, like that, and then like Halo Faith, which is done like on an
$800 budget or something.
Yeah, $850 budget, and they're trying to showcase what they can get away with. Now that makes more sense than.
Although we had some mixed
it's just like what's the lesser of two evils here? And then it gets to the idea. It's like, well, if it's evil, then like, can we just label it as both evil? Like, because it's not like we're trying to find the lesser of these two.
It's not like you can go like, who's worse, John Wayne Gacy or Charles Manson? Like they're both bad. Yeah.
Like, well, one doesn't really cut up his victims, and it's like, what are we talking about here?
Like Charles Manson, he killed adults. John Wayne Gacy like raped and murdered children. Like John Wayne Gacy should get like the express ticket. He should have the express pass in the hell line ride at Disneyland. Like, and he should always have that express pass.
He'll be on Hell on Wheels.
Yeah, he'll be on
Tuesday.
Yeah. And like the Halo Faith thing, the first thing that I noticed, and you noticed this too, was the Sunshine music.
Oh, well, and you know what? It's like and it's weird because like Sunshine is a track that just like it plays, like, if used really well, it plays to, like, your emotions, because it just drags you already in. You could be taking a dump and listening to it and just like, this is the greatest dump I've ever had in my whole life.
If you can't get it up one night and you're with a chick and that song starts playing, you start knowing that, like, I'm going through something right now. Like,
not even that, but it's all like, if you got problems like that, then you should see a doctor. Or you can play that track and like try to win it through.
Or maybe that track might have the opposite effect where like it makes you just go, I'm gonna do this.
I'm gonna get down and smack him, yak him.
Smack him, yak him.
Smack him, yak him.
Yeah.
It's like
just that music alone.
But you know what? It's like it's like, to be like, to Halo Faith's credit, they've got like 5 to 6 different tracks, original stuff.
They do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've got a sound. Yeah, it's actually on the YouTube page itself. It's like they've got like different instrumentals for stuff which is completely original. And it's like, sure, it would have been great if they used that stuff, but I'm sure they didn't have that music done when they had that trick.
Well, they just know that these by themselves are okay, but like they don't match.
But the better track that they can get.
The thing I do love about the Halo Faith trailer is like there's what looks like in the 80s the early version of blue screen, where like the Spartan is supposed to be running, but he's doing like the fake run movement where it just looks like you're almost starting to like do the rerun, right? And then there's like just
you're putting your hands up,
just like
flapping like
putting one foot up forward, and there's just like smoke billowing towards him, and you don't know what's happening. And then you said you didn't understand the Down syndrome elite. At the end of it.
I had my problems with like the character design. Not saying that it was
bro. That was being very diplomatic, dude. Like my problems with character design. You're like, what the fuck was up with that sound that he made?
I just.
You were beside yourself, man.
I was, and it's like, I'm sorry, but it's just like, you know what? Like that's when the fan side of you kind of just came up, rised over, and you're just like, you know what? What the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Like,
there's some awesome Halo-inspired stuff where, like, the dudes are actually making elite suits. Like, check those things out. Those
like
are
the 12-foot
insane.
Thing, like, the guy who's, like, in stilts, and it's just like, that looks pretty big and crazy, and it's animatronic.
Yeah.
Like, the one that I showed you.
Yeah, and you realize the dude's, like, making it, like, in his own living room.
Garage.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa.
Yeah. That's just...
He goes outside, and he's, like, 10 feet taller than anybody else in the world.
Man.
He's like, man, I didn't think Elite could be that big. It's like he's making a float.
Macy's Day.
Macy's Day parade of, like, an Elite.
There
goes the Sangeli coming down the turnpike next to Lady Gaga.
Yeah. And here's the Don Cheadle and Hotel Rwanda float.
Everybody's...
Look at all these starving children around this Christmas ham.
And
as
Don
this lion takes one out of the herd.
And Don Cheadle is on top as he's climbing, as everybody's trying to climb to take him over or something. It's like
that shot of Constantine.
Yeah.
Like
he's got the hand.
He's got, like, reaching up and
all the demons around him are like the children. Or like the starving
They're
children.
just converging on him.
Oh, God, man.
What the fuck? I don't know.
People are going to be very, very upset. Oh, I mean...
Who cares?
I know.
I mean, it's not like we're Herman Caning anybody. I mean, we're not... You put this stuff online, and you're putting it out there for open consumption, especially...
True.
And the thing is we're not making... We're kind of telling you guys about this stuff because before we decided we were going to talk about this today we actually looked at people's responses, like their actual comments on these things. And the comments are harsh, dude. Like, what we're saying is we're being very nice.
Yeah, it's like it was like gay.
Yeah, this thing is impossible and homosexual or whatever.
And then, like, possibly bisexual. It's like, what does that even mean?
I don't know what that means.
Possible bisexual, like girl bisexual or guy bisexual. And it's like, you know what? I'm not going to even try to reply to your comment because I'm just confused already.
Yeah, one guy made a good point. We're saying, like, he said, you know, it makes no point in putting the budget.
Yeah, that was for Halo Faith.
Yeah, that was but
actually... it's like, but you know what? But, like, it was nice that the guys from the channel actually came in and answered that question.
I mean, it's the rare actual... it's the rare actual communication that doesn't turn into, like, you're a faggot, kiss my ass, that kind of thing, you know.
Yeah, what I mean? and it's like, you know what, like, that's, like, I think that, I mean, anytime when I think about somebody, like, doing that, I just think of, like, Brett Ratner. I can't even watch Rush Hour anymore.
Dude, if there was any chance, up until that moment, there was any chance I was going to go watch Tower Heist, it was gone after hearing about some crazy... Why would you say that?
Why would you say rehearsals are for fags? Why would you do that, Brett Ratner? You are that person.
And then you're the one who had to tell me...
homosexual.
Yeah, like, yeah, if you have to respond to something like that, and that's just your mindset, like, dude, like, you're covering for something.
Yeah.
Obviously, and then you were the one who had to tell me about him and the tranny thing.
Like Brett Ratner had like a run-in with a transsexual, like when he was like in the younger years, and like that shit was like on the special features of like Rush Hour.
Like that was just I got this crazy anecdote.
And it's like that comes out of nowhere. It's where's your rehearsal time, Brett Ratner?
Does that explain like the reason you think why Eddie Murphy had his back? When it came to him getting fired from the Oscars?
I don't think so.
Because they had that whole, like, men with vaginas or vagina with...
I think Eddie Murphy, like, had his back because he's the one who actually gave Eddie Murphy a chance to actually do something again. Like, that's my only reason why I can say that I think that would be the case.
You think Eddie Murphy got that role because Chris Tucker just wasn't interested?
Chris Tucker's busy doing whatever he wants to do because he got enough money from Rush Hour 3 to just be set with his life.
Speaking of threes, dude, Men in Black. What are you thinking so far?
Men in Black 3 should just be non-existent because there shouldn't have been a 2.
Yeah, we both agreed on that. 1 was good and like oddball good.
It was a surprise, and then like 2 came out and was like, it's not a surprise anymore.
This is what happens when you watch it a second time.
And then it's like, you know what? Like, this is what happens when you have a franchise that shouldn't have been a franchise. Like, it's weird. Like, Men in Black had the potential to be a franchise, and then it became one, and then it's like, oh, so that's what happens when you have a franchise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it's like, all right. The first one came out in 97. The second one came out in 2002. And it's just like there was a 5-year split. The first Men in Black took 5 years to make. It took 5 years to make. And that was starting from 1992 because it just seemed like there was so much shit going on behind the scenes of like the first Men in Black, to where they had script problems, like all the way up till shooting. They didn't have like a guy that was gonna end up being Will Smith, and like just hearing like Barry Sonnenfeld talk about like just talking about like how he came up with the idea of like it's gonna be like Will Smith as this role was just that like his wife was like laying in bed reading the script and was just all like she just screams out Will Smith, and it's like,
wait, they were in bed together or was she reading the script?
She was in bed reading the script.
Oh, I thought you meant like they were in bed, like he was getting the love pissed into the meat curtain.
He was putting the Barry in her.
Yeah,
Barry Sonnenfeld in her.
Yeah, he was trying to get them Sonnenfelds out.
No, man, that's just Get Shorty.
Oh, my bad. Oh yeah. I mean, he didn't make Wild Wild West, so he knows what he's doing, right?
You see how I didn't answer that? I didn't bother to answer that.
The devil showed up in between us and went, "Ah, you fool!" And then just
I like Wild Wild West.
Yeah, I co-produced that motherfucker.
Just going back to Brett Ratner thing because I really want to hammer this shit into the ground.
Yeah.
All right, Brett Ratner. This is what I have to tell you.
Tell us how you really feel, Karwin.
This is how I really feel about you, Brett Ratner. Quick question: how come you say rehearsals are for fags, but you have a rehearsal in the first one that's on the behind the scenes?
Yeah, that's true.
I know you couldn't even be joking about that because that's not because that's some shit you know you're not going to get another job with. I know you've got a production company and you produce Horrible Bosses, which was like the better dark comedy of the year. But you know what? I think you're gay. I'm just it's like
I have a thing too. Like there's never with the tranny situation, like that's just not a story you can breeze over where you go like,
it's like, yeah, I remember my time with my friends.
I remember my time I was making out with this chick and I was like stroking her off at the same time.
That's not a chick.
Yeah.
What was
and you
his
can't
name?
just yeah. I could tell by the size of this woman's apple that I was having the best night of my life.
Yeah, it was a rough trick named John.
Yeah.
Because it's like that, and then like it also brings up on the third one where like Jackie Chan like has like this little like improv scene about like some of the porn that he watches, and like one of the lines that gets thrown out is that and like he likes the ones with the horse. And I'm thinking, like, Brett Ratner's the one that's feeding him these lines. And it's like, I know you're trying to be funny, but it's like, Brett Ratner, I know you're...
Yeah, it's one thing if, like, these are just funny things you say, but the fact that, like, you hooked up with a trainee and you're willing, like, that's part of, like, your Thanksgiving dinner. Like, I have a crazy story. Remember that time I sucked off this lady?
That's not off lady, it's Chad's boner. Or Chad's boner.
Chad's boner. Gross. So, like, I don't know, dude. Just hearing something like that being broadcasted was
it kind of just makes you realize like how messed up like some parts of these people in the industry are, and it's like Eddie Murphy like got his back because it's like he was the one that got him out of the Shrek movies. Like I'm pretty sure if it wasn't for the fact that like I'm sure Eddie Murphy was getting tired of doing the donkey voice.
I mean, it's either that or dressing up as a fat woman. Like, take your pick, man. I'd rather show up for like a day, get all my lines done, still get the same amount of money, and you don't have to see my ass anywhere. Let alone don a fat suit.
Or eat turkey ass. Yeah, I think that's it. We're kind of winded. That is our Good Friday number 6 for you. So let's get to this. Yeah.
Updates coming, comic books, more shorts, special thing, blah blah yada yada. Who cares? Talk to you later.
My mind was like a computer gone mad with all its memory banks.
I'm glad you said that.